Okay, so what I'm working on here is this is a portfolio piece. It's not finished, but I have spent some time, a good amount of time working on this already. I started it actually probably more than a year ago, maybe even actually more than 2 years ago. I've always wanted to complete this, so I decided to come back and revisit it. So today I might spend just a bit of time working on it, and I thought I'd just share my creative process and my sort of thought process behind how I do sound design for a linear piece like this, and sort of what my process looks like. It's a clip from Star Wars: The Old Republic. So let's work on that. Kind of want to start with this section here. There's a video. So sync is sounding good, but the rest of it isn't quite there yet. So let's jump into the sub project first. Sub projects in Reaper are kind of how I keep everything kind of together. Looks like I'm missing a few plugins though, so we'll have to investigate that. Let's take a listen to this again. So I mean, I can still hear the intentions there. Let's hear the sandstorm by itself. Yeah, it seems like there's a drop that happens, but let's hear this track. Okay, so I think that's sounding all right. Scratch sound grain. Let's see what this see this. What is this from? Oh, I don't know what that is, but I just want to explore this file and where it comes from because I have a library I'd like to go take a look at that I think might suit this better. Let's see. Ambience Desert Soundscape Layer 01 Sand Loop. Actually, this might be what I'm looking for. So here's my library. It's all squished in. It's kind of hard with the resolution I'm working with on this PC. But if I come to Essentials Dust, I think that yeah, I'm pretty sure this is where this comes from. So ambient dirt, desert. Yeah, it's ambient desert. Yeah, it does come from this one. Soundscape 01. What is it? It's really tough with this. 01 layer sand loop. 01 layer sand loop. Right. So it came from this. That's an interesting layer. This feels a little bit more chunky. Bigger grains of dust and things. Versus this one. That feels more like it could be dust particles scattering in the wind. Maybe it needs some saturation. Let's see. It doesn't look like I have anything on this track except for this, taking out some high end. Let's just loop this for a sec. That definitely sounds harsher. Let's just demo it in the full mix. Feels too heavy to me. So 9% depth. Let's go here and say so. Show track envelope. So let's bring the mix up as this kind of fades into this, progresses into this a bit. Yeah, so I've totally thrown off the gain structure by the fact that this is very heavy, so let's just take this down a bit. I like to A/B before and after with the plugin. Bring back the full mix. I might need to reset the rate because it feels like I feel like I'm hearing some like aliasing in here or something. This sounds weird here. Maybe not. Bring the rate change back. I do call this track Scratch Sand Grains, so it happens if I mute it out and just listen to this for a sec. quite like the texture of that wind sound. But just for the moment, I'm going to try something different. What is in here? Yeah, I'm not sure what was going on there. I split the track or something, but if I mute these, so we're just working with nothing again. Yeah, it seems like, yeah, okay, so this gets sidechained for sure when the punches happen. Maybe I just need a piece of this kind of toward the end. The low end is really full on, and so is even the mid range, I think. So let's just bring some of it out. I think some EQ makes that sit a little bit better for sure. You can kind of scroll along the content a bit too. Pitch it down a bit. Doesn't sound too good pitched down. 96K. Yeah, it just sounds really shit when it's pitched down, and I don't know if that's because, yeah, preserve pitch was on. That's something that shouldn't be on. I knew it was on. Save as default. A bit better. Call this a new storm. Get a different color. Duplicate the track. I'm not so sure about this EQ yet, so you can turn that off. And let's find. So I kind of like that toward the end. What is this? Hearing some wildlife in there, which I don't really want at all for this scene. It'd work better if I just put them together. Same track. Pitch this one down a bit too. A little lower with it. Okay, I like it, but it needs to get put with the other tracks I made. So let's unmute these for a sec. Let's just have this extra texture. I'm trying to figure out if this is actually adding anything or it's just kind of adding some masking. Yeah, it's a little bit more shape and contour to the wind. Let's hear this one. Right. Let's hear this again. Kind of like the sand grains on their own when I had them on their own, because you can kind of pan them and move them independently. Here it's stuck, but if I reverse the stereo, let's hear how it sounds. Actually, reversing the stereo kind of worked a little bit, I think. Can add a little bit of pan motion to this clip. Pan motion. And kind of go like... so as we're watching this scene, it looks like the particles are kind of moving from right to left. So we want to go right to left, sort of, over the time that this evolves. Something like that. And then kind of bring it back to center evenly. Good enough. Yeah, now there was a little bit more panning action in there. Just a little bit. Let's reverse the stereo again. I think it was as good as it was. So... oh, I wanted to take that off, actually. Normal, not... I think it feels good like that. So let's see. So before that it was this. That just sounds kind of shit there. I don't know why it doesn't sound too good. Why does it not sound good? It feels to me like there's so preserved pitch isn't happening there. I don't know why that just doesn't sound too good pitched down. Let's hear it. I don't know. It just doesn't work. Sometimes it doesn't work. So this is what I had before, right? And now, what I had after, I added this kind of track. to find ways to bring that sand grain texture out a little bit more. And that's why this track might still be useful. Uh-oh. This one? Yeah, it's this one. I'm going to put OTT on it. Okay, let's hear it. What if I just shorten this, basically? Let's drop a marker here, just so I don't forget where that fade was, kind of. Sort of like that, and then, yeah, I just want to take out some of this. This could almost be less, this could be less. Less OTT, different fade type. Okay, it's sounding alright. It sounds decent, I think. That's improved. Now let's get onto some of this impacts. I think, where's the effect? Which, that little sound is fun, like, maybe just do that for fun, but I don't think it actually sounds great yet. It adds kind of something. It is kind of cool, but it needs to be for sure layered with other sounds. Where did this come from? Oh, it came from quite an interesting source, it looks like. Arcane Forces design. Spark hit, strong mid-frequency pulse, crunching, metallic blast, medium fast decay. Zap, spirit whip. Okay. Interesting. And is this where the... There doesn't seem to be a marker for the choking action, so... Let's get that. We just find the frame where the hand connects with the throat. It's about to be about... there. Yeah, let's try and find something for that. Let's try, like, so Boom Ultimate, fully impact. Sort of one thing I keep in mind when I'm designing these things is that occasionally, depending on the sound that I'm making and which source it is, really depends on the sound that I'm making. Like, sometimes I will go about the process by completely making as much of it as I can from scratch, but it just really depends on what I'm working with and what I'm making, and really how good I can make it sound ultimately. If I feel that something from a library that I manipulate and layer can sound better than something I can make on my own, then sometimes I'll make that decision as well. Bit of a judgment call there. Let's see. That's a great sound, but that's not the one. Like, if I just started with just the transient of this, and this folder track is a mess. It's not very clearly laid out at the minute. Let's just make this its own little subfolder, just so I can further organize what's going on here. So if if I just solve this, I'm going to bring this to the marker. Video's not catching up. Just the initial transient of that feels nice, actually, but this could work, honestly. I think it needs, like, well, do this maybe with plugins. Let's go with this transient shaper. Attack. Right, like it's an A sound. Next little trick I'd probably try here. Come on, come on. Something like this. This decay might be going on too long. Let me duplicate the track and just like do a little bit of a harsher dropout here. Something else we can try as well is drive that intensity based on the shape, kind of the amplitude of the sound coming in, this one here. So see, I'm not sure if I'm liking that or not. Copy this, paste that. This one is the one that I don't want. Oh, there's still some kind of... this is the one where I don't want there to be any parameter modulation. I just want to go something like... so that, and we've got this. Could be a little sharper, actually. What's the best way to do this? Okay, not bad. So like that, or this one. little bit more punch on the second one. I do like the tail. There needs to be more to this for sure, because this sound by itself isn't right. I think we need the metal crunch now, kind of. Let's see. What's it called? That sounds great, but I want something like yeah, I'm gonna shy away from the straight design sounds. That's kind of where I draw my personal line. Usually I try to opt for the what's it called? Construction kit stuff at least. But let's see if I can find no, that's not right. I'm just looking for something that's kind of like a small servo sound. For the mechanics of the robot arm there. Just as a temp sound, real quick. Sci-fi construction kit, this is what a way that you can kind of get sounds like this yourself too is by using a there's a microphone. I'm blanking on the name of it just now, but it's the electromagnetic mics. I think the ones that pick up like just the sound of kind of internals of electronic components, and you just get the electromagnetic sounds specifically. Tend to create some nice textures like this. I don't have a mic like that on me at the minute. I don't own one, but I've seen that. It's a cool technique. Those are kind of some interesting textures. Modern UI. I think something higher would be better, actually. This is small metal, which is good. Yeah. Exactly, yeah. This one I'm going to just drop the whole thing on there. And I'm actually going to just... So I can just... This is how I would organize my tracks very, very, very quickly. Place... With... Okay. So let's get like this whole bit. I don't think all of it's going to be useful, but good. This is from A sci-fi construction kit. Okay, so listen to all of these for a sec. It's just helping me figure out the kind of timing and shape for this. I reverse that. It's like a resonant peak in there that I don't like. It's a bit extreme, but maybe we don't need to make it mono, but we could do like widen this. Taper off the stereo width, get the stereo pan, and then kind of do something like that. Sounds okay. Don't know if I'm gonna move with it yet. Not only do I need a grab, but I need like a bone, almost like a neck bone cracking. There needs to be some kind of crack on that, I think. But see, I like this one at the start because it's got this texture that feels like it was a very quick motion. Let me explore some other sounds I own as well, actually, that kind of could work for this. Oh, what is it called now? Electromagnetic, yeah, exactly, with EMF stuff. No, I don't think that particularly works. It's a fun sound, but I don't think that'll work either. I have like a recording of a shaver that I've got. It'd work for more of like an electronic gate or something. This is a good sound right here anyway. Yeah, just like that. Video. Now we're talking. Versus this. Maybe if it's like to a smaller degree, like a, what I mean to say, it's like a quieter version of that sound. Just a little bit. But this one, for sure. That is a great sound. Motor, servo small, metal high. Let's see what it says about it. Small and high metal servo electric drill. Okay, so it gives me an idea for what kind of source I need to look for. Right. Electric drill. Right. What if we just accentuated it just a little bit more with the transient shaper? Give it like half mix. Not sure yet. Anyways, that's what I got for now. I think there's some overall improvements here. Yeah, we'll revisit this kind of kick, this elbow. I really like the sub bass, but now the choke is sounding like a bigger impact.